Welcome back to R6 Outdoors, and today I won't be hunting or fishing. I wish I was, but we got crazy weather coming in. It's like 40 degrees and it's raining. It's pretty crazy out here. So I've been hunting lately since the season started, and we got a couple of bucks and does, and I just wanted to make a quick video on, I guess, the way I do my like, I guess, beef jerky. I mean, deer jerky in this case, right? But yeah, it's not like super dehydrated, and it's not like paper thin like in some of these shops that do it. And this is just I just wanted to, I guess, demonstrate the process that I use and how I do it, basically. But it's I mean, it comes out pretty good. It's basically just smoked, like a smoked thin meat, and I call it, I guess, deer jerky. So I know some other people use, you know, like dehydrators and all that, but I basically just smoke the meats, and that's about it. So I'll get right into it. Alright, so here I'm going to be showing a close-up of how I pretty much fillet it, or like just cut, you know, the very thin, as thin as possible as I could get it, I guess the strips of the deer meat. This is part of the back strap right here. And yeah, let me get started into that. So you see, you get a pretty it's not super thin, but it's pretty thin. So you get just little strips like that, and just continue the process. I usually take off all the fat that I could take off the meat, so just so you keep it pretty lean. You see, this one came out pretty good. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I do. If for some reason I cut it too thick, I usually get like a mallet, those meat tenderizer mallets or something like that, and I just, you know, I hit it until it flattens out and gets a little skinnier. But that's honestly about it. And then I do put some spices in it, and I'll show y'all right now. Like, this one came out pretty thick. Well, I mean, thicker than the other ones. So I'll definitely, you know, try and flatten it out, get a little more skinnier, so it's easier to smoke, so it won't take so long. This one came out pretty good. You see, these long strips make, you know, they make some of the best jerky right there. So I'm just gonna continue doing this until, you know, I pretty much have all this meat, you know, stripped down into little strips. Even if it's it doesn't have to necessarily always be a super long strip, or, you know, as long as you can get it, you know, as long as it's meat and you get a little strip of it pretty thin, you can make little, I guess, little deer jerky or whatever. It works pretty nice, honestly. And yeah, you see, we got this is part of that back strap that I just cut up. This is the other back strap. These are from a pretty big buck, honestly. You see, and I try and take off all this fat right here. I usually try and take that off. And yeah, this is, I guess, this is part of the leg. So we turn that into, you know, deer jerky as well. And here, I'll show y'all what spices and what spices I put in there before it actually goes on the grill. Alright guys, so we have now cut up all the meat, and it's pretty much just little strips of it, you know, where we can pull out. And some of these were kind of they came out pretty thick, so I hammered them down with the little mallet, and then we're gonna be transferring it over to this little pan we have here. What we're gonna use, I guess, for seasoning wise, we're gonna put meat tenderizer on it, and then we're gonna finish it off with some that's, I believe, red chilies. So let's get to it. All right, guys. So what you want to do, you want to get the meat, and you want to make like a little, I guess, like a floor or like a layer of it on this pan. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. You just put it in there, stack it up until you get that one, I guess, that one layer, so that we can season it. And then we'll put on the next layer after that and season that, and then so on and so forth. It takes a while, but once the meat comes out, it's worth it, honestly. So here, let me show you real quick. You see, we have, I guess, that first layer of meat there, and then I'm gonna start off by putting the meat tenderizer, and then the red chilies, and then the next layer after that. All right, guys. So I'm gonna start sprinkling some on, and then I'll continue with the red chilies. Honestly, the red chilies, you don't have to put them. It's just we like a bit of spice in our, I guess, on our jerky. So we're just gonna throw some on there, and then we're gonna continue with the next layer of meat right on top of that one. You see, you see how I'm laying it down this way, and then I'm gonna season it on top over here, and you're gonna say, well, you didn't season this side, but as I lay it down, I guess it'll stick to it from the bottom layer, just so that both sides get a bit of a seasoning. I mean, you also don't want to over season it to where it's just a bunch of spices when you bite into it. So yeah, you just kind of, it's like a puzzle, I guess. You just kind of throw it on there. Make sure you don't put one on top of the other on, like, of the new meat that you're putting in, because then you obviously you'll get those several pieces that aren't even seasoned. So make sure you don't put it on top of the same new layer that you're doing. Alright, guys, so we now have, I guess, the maximum layer that I could have got on this pan. I filled it up to the top. I still have more meat here, more meat in these bags that are already cut up and already seasoned up. But I'll do that, like, I guess the next round. I need to set all this up, and then I put it in for like about 4 hours, and then I'll put in the rest of this other meat. So let's take it to the grill. Alright, guys, so I'm gonna set it up on this area because I have the fire over here, so I'm gonna let it smoke into this big area, and I'm gonna start setting up the meat over here. So there it is. I've put in all the meat, and there's just some other ones over here. And then I have the fire over here, which is just smoking. I'm gonna cover this up, and then we're gonna start to see the smoke come out through here, where all that smoke from this side is gonna be transferring in over here. I guess cooking and smoking the meats, and then coming out through there. So we'll see how long. I believe it takes about 4 hours, and yep, that's pretty much how I do it. Alright guys, well, after leaving it for about 4 or 5 hours, you get this. This is the actual, finished product. This is one of the bigger pieces. It's not super I guess this one is crispy, very those are one of the thinner pieces that come out, a lot crispier than the other ones. But yeah, it comes out pretty good, honestly, and everything sticks to it. As you can see, you still see those the seeds from the peppers, and then obviously the meat tenderizer still in there. And this was a first batch that I had made before, and it came out honestly really good. This is how I usually do all my deer meat. I know most of y'all, or some of y'all, use the back straps, as steaks, and go get sausages done and all that. But we tend to keep it we mainly just do this since we like the way it comes out. So yep, this is it. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the way I do it. I just fillet it into as thin as I could possibly get it. Then I put in all those spices. It was the meat tenderizer and the chilies, and then I put it into little layers, stack it all up, and then I take it to the grill and I smoke them. That's pretty much it. I put just a couple of logs on one side, let the smoke transfer to this side, and within 4 to 5 hours this should honestly be done. If you if you cut it thicker, then it'll obviously take a little longer, but most of the time it's gonna be 4 to 5 hours. So that's pretty much it. It honestly comes out really good, especially with the peppers. It comes out kind of spicy. Well, it's a personal preference, but if y'all don't want the spiciness to it, y'all can obviously not put that in. Y'all could even mix in whatever other spices y'all want to make your own flavors, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty much the same process. It's pretty easy. I believe it's pretty easy, and it comes out different from, I know I've tried that like real dehydrated, from the little machine that they sell, and this one obviously tastes a lot different. I think I like it more just because of that smoky flavored, it's really good. And yeah, so I know I haven't been posting much on my channel, but I got caught up with school. I haven't really been fishing much, and the times I have been fishing, I've pretty much got skunked. So I don't want to just upload me getting skunked or whatever. I will be duck hunting, and I'll be going down to the ranch to shoot some bucks, hopefully. So stay tuned for those videos, and we'll see you later.